Okay, hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live today. So let me start with introducing myself. My name is Chetna. I go by Chet. I handle customer deliveries and customer support for YogiFi. I have here beautiful Darlene with me. She's been using YogiFi mat for about a month or so, and she has offered to share her experience on YogiFi and help out some people who are still trying to make a decision on YogiFi. So welcome, Darlene. Welcome to YogiFi Facebook Live. We'll start with introducing yourself. I mean, you can give a big background about yourself.
So my name is Darlene. I am from Texas. I currently live in Virginia. I'm active duty military. I have a husband, 2 kids, dog, full house, managing mommy and work at the same time. So I'm just glad to be part of this experience.
Yes, you are the perfect person to be doing yoga and releasing that stress, right?
Definitely.
Okay. How did you come to know about YogiFi? We haven't actually marketed the product as much. So you would have ended up with YogiFi through, some friend or something, but how did you come to know about YogiFi first?
I was actually checking on the status of my smart mat. I'm one of many that have bought the smart mat and never received it, and I was checking my status on it, and YogiFi popped up, and I looked at it. I saw the videos. I liked the Instagram. I liked Facebook, and I sat with it for a while, and I brought it up to my husband's attention. I was like, I really want to buy this, but I'm so skeptical because of, being burned in the past by another company. And he went ahead and he bought it for me for Christmas. And when I received it, and not only did I receive it, but I was more thrilled that I got to be one of the first few to test it. So already my experience had been through the roof. Emotions can't even tell you how I felt because it was like a kid in a candy store, honestly.
That tells me how much you like yoga. I'm really glad that your husband took that step to go ahead and buy it. And I know it is probably, I feel sorry for some people who are in similar situation. But I don't know what happened to SmartMat, but we can speak for our product. Whoever has ordered will definitely receive one. And we stand by the product, not just for delivery, but for the quality and throughout the journey for YogiFi with YogiFi. Thank you so much for sharing that story. I hope people who have invested in other products do give us a try. And we do have the 30-day return policy as well, and we ship worldwide. So definitely check out YogiFi mobile app, which already gives you a taste of some of the programs. And then you can go ahead and give us a chance after that with the product. Okay, so now let's talk about the main reason you're here. The experience on the mat. How was it? How do you like, how YogiFi has become a part of your daily routine? Tell us about that.
So normally first thing in the morning, I will wake up the same time my husband wakes up, which is about 2 hours before I normally have to. So I can knock out my yoga session first thing in the morning, just to start my day relaxed and energized and just happy. So I start my day with yoga, and the good thing about the mat is you don't have to have an instructor with you right there to correct you and perfect the postures. The yoga mat will tell you based off your balance on your feet itself, on your hands. It will let you know if your position is correct. After, the first series is just walking you through it. The second series is a little bit more lenient, but still will correct you. The third one is really perfecting that posture. And I like it because, at a yoga studio, you have the instructor right there that will help guide you into that. Well, this one will tell you if your balance on your right hand is a little too much, or if you need to bring more weight to the front of the posture versus the back, or if your feet are unbalanced when you're in whatever position you may be in. So I really do enjoy that.
Perfect. And YogiFi helps you, practice or learn, practice, and perfect a posture. That is the whole story of YogiFi. The value add with the teachers in class, you get a lot of variety and constantly moving. But here, if you want to perfect a posture, YogiFi is the way to go. And when you were talking about the AI feedback, one thing that caught me by surprise is how the mat can tell when my core is not engaged. Like even if it's a small, simple posture, the feedback that I get that your core is not engaged or your quads are not engaged because you see that pressure imbalance on your feet. That was actually quite surprising. Now it's like, you are completely engaged, no more cheating, just do it right, and it will help you go there and get into that right posture.
Well, to add to that too, you know that my son, my 3-year-old Charlie, will like to climb on me when doing yoga. The one thing that I truly do enjoy is he's about 40 pounds. So even with me being in mountain pose and him climbing on top of me, it is not changing the position for me. It's not offsetting it. It's truly configured and molded for your body. So once you first, start your mat up and you run through processes of it, it has the configuration setting. So it goes based off of how you stand, how you move. So even with his added feet in the back of me or, climbing underneath me, it's not taking into consideration those. It's solely you.
Perfect.
That's what I really do.
I'm glad that is helping you in your journey. But if your older one does climb on you, I'm pretty sure it's going to, say something is wrong here, Darlene. That I'm glad that, it's becoming like more of a family, time there. And I'm pretty sure he's a climber. He must be doing really good with yoga as well.
Yes, definitely. He has his own mat that he will start, doing the same positions. And whenever I set up yoga, if he is awake early enough to do yoga with me, on the weekends especially, he'll do it with me. I'll set it up. I'll put his mat right next to me, and he'll do whatever, the videos are showing, whatever the instructors are telling us to do, he does them as well. And then once he starts, his attention span is so much, he'll go in and he'll start climbing all over me and playing, and then he'll go back to his yoga session.
That's perfect. Which one was his favorite pose?
He actually likes to do warrior.
Nice.
And he'll randomly around the house go into warrior 1 and 2, and he wants the attention to him. Look at me, and he goes into position.
So when you start doing inversions, probably that will become his favorite as well. So hope that's coming soon. So we'll get you, comfortable into getting into inversions and little advanced yoga classes as well. So thoughts about, what was the biggest benefit that you have experienced with YogiFi having in your, right at home?
I think YogiFi came out during the perfect timing with quarantine and everything. You can't really go out and do a lot. I can't. And I don't want to expose my kids. So for me, it was beneficial because of that. Like, it's having an instructor in my home with me at any time of the day. I don't have to worry about hours or is there enough space in the classroom or in the studio for me. There's plenty of space. I could do it at any time. I don't have to worry about a sitter. It's perfect for me. So that and, really correcting and perfecting the postures for each, session. That is definitely a benefit to me.
Perfect.
I do see I do see the flexibility of myself getting better as well as the more I do it.
Excellent. And we have a lot more programs coming in to get you into that tougher postures as well. Women's wellness is on its way, and better sleep, some anxiety management programs. There are a lot of those coming in as well. And I know you are a fitness fanatic. You have shared with me your Garmin stats, and I think you are a runner as well. And being in military, I know how much of fitness, you value fitness. How is yoga helpful for those fitness fanatics as well?
For fitness fanatics, I think it's wonderful. Like I said, you don't have to go to a gym or a studio for that. Um, Yourself and one other YogiFi member has been to my house, and we have our treadmill, we have our garage gym, and my yoga mat fits perfectly in there if I wanted to take it to the garage after running, really getting a deep stretch so that you're not sore and you recover a little bit faster. So
Yes.
I love it.
So that is what we have heard from few other athletes as well. They use it for warm up and relaxation programs on the YogiFi mat. So even if you're a fitness fanatic, so even if you're not into yoga, you can definitely use YogiFi mat for all this warm up and cool down sequences. So you have shared a video of your son doing yoga. How was his experience? He's a teenager, I believe.
So my oldest son, he's 12 and he's very competitive. So he loved it at first, but he doesn't like to be corrected because he thinks he's doing everything correct. He's 12 going on 22. So there was positions that he was doing and he wasn't getting right. And he heard the chime because it does correct you. And he was like, he would get frustrated because I saw that he kept on trying harder and he would come back for more just so that he could perfect it. So I like that he's willing to do that.
Oh, excellent. So I saw his video. I know he was doing it with a little bit of a loose body. I asked him to stiff up and engage his core. Then he's just definitely going to get all those green dings for him. And I think that whole green ding and red ding, how do you like it? Is it motivating you to get to that right posture? We've been evaluating whether, we need to keep that ding sound or do we just need to show the light? What do you think was your thoughts on that?
So I think it's a combination of both, where some people, they might like just the light. But you do have that option. You could go in there and you could change the settings so that you don't have that ringing and that instant feedback. For me, I like the instant feedback because I want to ensure that my posture and all forms are being done correctly and benefiting the body parts and muscle groups that it's supposed to be benefiting. So for me, I like it. My son, he didn't, but he keeps trying, so he obviously likes it. I do also like that in the app, when you're using the mat with the app, you can actually perfect certain postures and you get like a little badge on your app that tells you perfected whatever posture you were doing.
Perfect.
So
yes, so many much more, animated batches and are coming. I know that actually helps motivate a lot of people. So we are bringing on some challenges as well. Probably the first one will be for Mother's Day, wherein you can do it with your partner, with your kids, or moms, and we are going to introduce all those challenges, hopefully to keep you all motivated. Okay, tell me about a teacher from whom you would like classes on YogiFi.
Okay, so because I learned yoga in Jacksonville, Florida, the Hotspot Yoga Studio, those yoga instructors, any one of them are amazing. Rolando Martinez is great. Kino, there's so many yogi instructors that are like amazing. It's hard to pinpoint one or two. But I will say that the instructors that YogiFi has been using and has programs on there, I've truly enjoyed. Christine and Caroline, I love their sessions. So
yes, and we are trying to launch a lot more teachers as well to bring on that variety and their specialized classes on the YogiFi platform. But as you said, Caroline and Christine are really great. They have given really good programs and more are coming. All right. So let me see. I might have some questions from people watching on Facebook Live. Let me just quickly check that. I think it's easier for me to check it on my phone. Okay. So some questions are, what do you think is the appropriate age for someone to use the YogiFi mat?
I have a 3-year-old that tries to use it. I have a 12-year-old. My husband's a little bit older than I am. I'm 36. I don't think that there's a specific age that is in need of using the mat. I think that we could use the mat at any age group. And I say that because when you first configure your mat for you, you tend to, you know, you're telling the mat and the app if you're a beginner or you have experience in yoga. And I honestly think if you just go in with an open mind and not like, because you will get some yoga students or yogi students or instructors that have done it for multiple years, and then they do Cobra and it corrects them and they could be a little upset, like, oh, that's wrong. Just go in open-minded, let the mat balance you out and tell you how to perfect that posture correctly, because we all learn differently, and what we have learned could be incorrect based off of the way we balance our hands and our feet and just the way we hold the weight in our body in general. So.
Awesome. And it is actually even though it's a high-tech product, I know some elderly people might think it's going to be very complicated for them to use it, but it is actually not. If you are able to use a smartphone, you absolutely can use the YogiFi mat because everything happens through the app on the smartphone. The YogiFi mat is just going to be reading your body and all the feedback comes from your phone. So it's very simple to get started. You have an app, you have a mat, you pair them and you start practicing and follow the instructions and continue practicing. That's it. That's a simple journey. The next question I think you have received previously is whether you can use a yoga towel or a yoga mat on top of your YogiFi mat. I'll first let you speak about your experience and then I'll tell what the recommendation is.
So the yoga mat is pretty thick, and I know for some of us we tend to sweat a little bit or our palms get a little sweaty and whatnot, and you may want to use something else to help cushion it or help keep your balance. My recommendation would be just to put like a yoga towel down. That way it's thin and you're still getting the exact corrections to perfect your posture. If you put a mat on top of it, I haven't done that, but I feel like it would be too thick for it to correct you correctly and get the best benefit from the YogiFi mat. I personally think that if you need something to help keep the sweat off your palms and your feet, a real thin yoga mat, or not yoga mat, a yoga towel would benefit you. But there's plenty of cushion, like it's thick enough and so cushiony, like it's.
I just want to navigate to something that I wanted to show, which is on our website, yogify.fit/help. It provides the specification for the yoga mat that you could use. So in our recommendation, we do recommend that you kind of apply another layer on top of your YogiFi mat for the longevity of the mat completely. And if you do that, it will, it's easy to sanitize it and keep it clean. So this is the recommendation. I just wanted to go to the website and share that as well. I hope people are able to see that information. It's on our website, on the YogiFi website /help. The mats, the yoga mats generally come in a couple of sizes, right? It's 1/8 thick, 1/4 thick, and 1/2 inch thick are the three standard thicknesses of the mat. So if you apply a 1/8 inch of a mat, thickness mat on top of the YogiFi mat, you would not experience any difference in the feedback that it provides. And we do recommend that you use something so that, maybe some sharp objects, unfortunate things, if they do happen, it might end up damaging the mat. So having that protective layer on top of it will be very helpful. And if you use another yoga mat, you wouldn't have that whole problem about the movement. Like the towel can move, absolutely, right? And it can create some kind of disturbance during your practice. But if you use this 1/8 inch of a yoga mat, you would not have any difference in your yoga practice on YogiFi mat. Okay. So I think those are good, questions that we received as of now. We'll probably take the rest of the questions in and reply to them as comments. So we'll wrap up with one final statement from you. Any words for our dev team and the customer support team that stands by this product?
So my personal experience, and I know it's not going to be for everybody. I've had nothing but great experience, and I think that is what is the biggest portion of why I like the mat. I mean, I absolutely love the mat. I love the app, but I love more so that the customer service is so welcoming and they treat you like family. I've had nothing but great experience with them. So, and I've had my mat now since December. So I could text, chat, and like I said, I know not everybody's going to have that same experience, but I've been able to text, chat, and have her in my home, just, discussing the mat in general and the benefits and, everything like that. So I personally love YogiFi based off of the experience that I have, had.
Thank you so much, Darlene. And I hope that actually gives comfort to others who are probably thinking it's a small startup and, what if they get the product and, startup just disappears or whatever happens, right? But please do know that here we deliver the product and we will stand by any issues that you would face. And as Darlene mentioned, you can absolutely text me if you have any issues, and I'm happy to get on a call with you to resolve any issues you might face. Or if you even feel that, hey, I think this probably isn't what I signed up for, I want a little more, we will definitely help you. There are a lot more features coming on YogiFi app, and we want to make sure that you are aware of that, and we will guide you accordingly. Okay? All right, thank you.
Can I add something else to that real quick, Chat?
Yes, absolutely. Please go ahead.
So another thing that I do like is with the feedback that I have provided prior to this live, I have seen the changes already. So my suggestion is if you have the mat and you try it out and you think that something could be better, send the feedback. The most that could be said is no, or an explanation as to why it won't be able to be made or done. But I have definitely shared feedback. I've expressed that we should have, a child yoga session for YogiFi, and they're trying to work for it and make things happen. And that's just based off my kids wanting to be on it. So I do think that if you have any issues, don't hesitate. Let the team know, hey, can we add this? Can we do this? Or have you looked into this? I'm pretty sure that they will really do some research and try to add it to the app. That's how welcoming and how great this team is.
I have to really, really thank you for sharing that experience and those kind words. And you have said it all. I have nothing else to say. I will sign off on this high note, and I really thank you again for joining us today.